life coaching. And today we're going to talk about, for unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance, but from him that hath not shall be taken away, even which he hath. What does that mean? Matthew 25:29. Good morning. No, we're not doing Bible study. No, we're not. But we're making a point, okay? It's an abundance mindset. This is about mindset, okay? So an abundance mindset, if you have an abundance mindset, that's what Matthew 25:29 is talking about. If you have an abundance mindset, more will be given to you. If you have a lack mindset, more will be taken. How does that even work? It's your subconscious. It's your subconscious that it's talking about. Okay, so yeah, I know. That's not what you learned in Sunday school. I get it. Okay, now, when I suggest you study esoteric knowledge if you're going to a church, because you need to understand the inner workings of things and the hidden meanings of things. Okay, good morning, Jay. Jay's our moderator over here on that platform. We're on 7 platforms this morning worldwide, and we can't mention them because some of the algorithms will limit us if we do, because obviously we will be mentioning their competition. So why bring up this Bible verse? You know why? Because most people do not understand. Most people that blindly follow, right? Things, okay? And doctrine, okay? And dogma, okay? Religious dogma. We're not reading. You need to understand what it is you have faith in, because the kingdom is in here. The kingdom is in here, not out there. People make the mistake of seeking the kingdom with their eyes. And then what happens? Endless searching. Why? Because there are infinite possibilities. And then you get stuck on the how of manifestation. Now, what this Bible verse is talking about, Matthew 25:29, is mindset. If you have an abundance mindset, you will always have. More will be given to you. Why? Because it's the way you're thinking. It's your mindset. There is only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. That's all there is. It's mindset. This is why millionaires, billionaires, they can lose everything tomorrow. And within a very short time, they get it all back. How does that work? It works because of their mindset. It's all about mindset. Some people can't be bothered with mindset. They go, oh, that's too much work. And they suffer their entire lives. They suffer like their whole life because they do not know what they have in here. They're unaware. They're unaware of what they have in here and the gifts that they have in here. If you're a human being, you have gifts in here that you're probably not even aware of. It's a blessing to be a human being. When you understand what you have in here, in the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, that you can bring about with just ease. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization, with ease. Instead of struggling out here in the physical world. But you have eyes, so you get distracted into the physical. And you struggle so much you become like this. And when you become like this represents conditioned, represents stuck. This represents I'm not coming out. I'm in here. I'm stuck in here. When you get stuck internally, that's when the damage happens. Because everybody's focused out here. Your eyes are focused out there, away from the kingdom. The kingdom is in here. You should be seeking here, but no, you're seeking out here. When I want something, anything, I ask in here. And guess what? I get it. Sometimes I have to wait. Sometimes I have to be patient. If you really want to understand how God works, I'll tell you. Because everything in here is reflective out here. So when you look at a GPS, how does a GPS work? Well, it will give you a path. When it gives you a path, maybe you know a shortcut, right? So you don't follow that path. So you take the shortcut. What happens to the GPS? It starts to recalibrate. It starts to recalibrate. Why? Because then it lines you up with where you're going. Because if it sees you go over here to the left, away from the path it gave you, it will recalibrate until it can figure out a path that way. That's how God works. God works like that. When you change your mind and you say, okay, I'm not going to go this way, I'm going to go this way. God says, whoa, 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 hang on, I'm setting everything up, hang on, I'm recalibrating, hang on, right? And God will go like this and then give you the path that way. And when I say God, I'm talking about the superconscious. And then the doors start to open as you take the steps. Your life begins to unfold from within because the kingdom is within. And as you take the baby steps, God goes like this, God goes like that. And you step, and then you step, and then you step. And the doors begin to open. The right people come into play because everything comes to us through others. And then a way shall be made. And that's the way is made. It doesn't have to do with anything other than the fact that you're a human being and you're designed this way. But everybody's looking out here. You have eyes, but your eyes are not for seeking. You seek in here. You need to understand what these holy writings are telling you, if we can call them holy. Okay, because holy is a human construct, just like saint, saintly. Saint is a human construct. Heaven and hell are human constructs. You need to know the difference between man-made and God-made. It's so funny that I hear pastors tell people the will of God. That is so funny to me. They will stand there and they will speak on behalf of the Creator. And they will tell people what God wants, how God feels, who God is. But God is bigger than that. And it makes them look ridiculous. They have good intentions, but they can only articulate so much because God is expansive. God is in everything, and everything is energy. And like we discussed yesterday, there's dark energy and there's light energy. There's dark and light, good and bad. Not to be confused with try to dissect and explain the Word of God. The Word of God is in here. The Word of God is accessible to everyone in here. You can't explain it. You cannot explain it in human words. But there's authorities, right? There's guys that will tell you, they'll tell you exactly how God feels, and then they'll ask you to give your money to them, right? Because, yeah. God has nothing to do with 501c3 churches. They're businesses. And I'm not attacking churches, I'm just saying what they are. They're 501c3 nonprofits. I call them the nonprofit prophets. More young people today are seeing through the illusion. They see through these. They see through all of that. This is why churches are having problems. Because it's so plain to see. Light is expansive. High frequencies are expansive. Negativity is restrictive. Dark is restrictive. You can live dark. If you choose, you can live dark. Go ahead, enjoy yourself. Because at some point, when the dark gets too intense, it will push you towards the light. This is why when people go to prison, they turn their lives around. That's why it's called turning your life around. Because your life goes in the other direction. Then you start helping people. Then you start sharing your experiences to help others. So part of these things that I'm explaining through esoteric knowledge, which is what you should be studying. Don't be a one-book learner. When you study esoteric knowledge, you understand, oh, that's what they're talking about. The 12 apostles. Have you ever wondered about the number 12? Why are there 12 apostles? Why is there 12-step programs? Why are there 12 people on a jury? What's this 12? Why are there 12 astrological houses? You know where it says, in my Father's house there are many mansions? The correct translation is, in my Father's abode there are many houses. There are 12 houses. 12 astrological houses. And they're written in the stars. And I don't know who can rearrange the stars. But 12, have you ever wondered why there's 12? Your first 12-step program is grade school through high school. 1st through 12th grade. 12. 12 people on a jury. Do you know why? Because it takes 12 to bring the truth to light. 12. Not 10, not 9, not 5, but 12. When you study esoteric knowledge, you go, oh, okay. What about the number 7? 7 chakras. 7. Do they talk about it in the Bible? Yeah, they talk about it in all the holy books. They say it in different ways. In the Bible, it's the 7 seals. Where are the 7 seals? They're in here. 7 chakras. So what we do with our clients is we open their throat chakra first. Because as you open the throat chakra, it triggers the heart chakra. What? How does that happen? Because the longest cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, runs from the cranium right into the heart, but it is activated through the human voice. So when you project sound with velocity or strength, it stimulates the vagus nerve, which stimulates the heart, which activates the neurotransmitters, meanwhile, are activating oxytocin and endorphins, hormones. While the vagus nerve is stimulating the heart. And it stimulates the heart until one day the heart chakra opens. And you find yourself crying happy tears, and you wonder why. And you go, oh, interesting. Some people think something's wrong when that happens. No, nothing's wrong. That's a good thing. Your heart chakra needs to be open, because when your heart chakra is open, you're receptive. When your heart chakra is open, you can have compassion. You feel more compassionate. Things have more meaning. Is it part of an abundance mindset? Yes. Why? Well, because it's open. An abundant mindset is like this, not like this. It's like this. Abundance, openness. So you can receive. You have to be open to receive. Everybody can give. Not everyone can receive. Why? Well, like it says in Matthew 25:29, same thing. If you have abundance, you're open. You're open to abundance. You're open for abundance. And then abundance. This is holding yourself back. This is insecurity. This is lack of self-confidence. This is guarded. So what do you need to do? Relax. Open. That's why this Bible verse is important, Matthew 25:29. It's only important if you understand it correctly. They don't teach this in Sunday school. But it's about mindset. Other people just see, oh, okay, it's the word of God. Okay. No, it refers to you in here. Whatever is going on in here is clearly apparent here. Like I always say, look at somebody's desk. Are they organized? Is everything in place? They're organized here. What do they own? Look at the condition of their things. Do they take care of things? If they care out here, they care in here. If they care in here, it's expressed out here. And everything here, in the way of others, reacts to everything in here. In esoteric knowledge, they say as above, so below, as within, so without. As within, so without. So now, subconscious, conscious, subconscious, superconscious. The subconscious learns to be like this. This becomes a habit. The subconscious learns everything. The subconscious learns to be reserved. The subconscious learns to be angry. The subconscious learns to be kind. The subconscious learns to be generous. Whatever that program becomes in the subconscious, it becomes a habit. Whatever it is. So it's just as easy to form good habits as bad habits. It's just repetition, that's all it is. How hard is it to establish a good habit? Not very hard at all. People make it sound hard. People make it sound like a challenge. People make it sound like an ordeal. Oh, if I gotta change my life, that's gonna be a big deal. No, it's not. It's going to be a few little changes. Read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits. I can summarize the book for you in a couple of sentences. Small incremental changes over time amounts to huge change. That's one sentence. I'll give it to you another way. Here's the second sentence. All you have to do is adjust what you're doing a little bit each day, and you become a new person. You see, the job of a good teacher is to break things down, not to show you how smart they are. I can't tell you how many intelligent people talk to me all the time trying to show me how intelligent they are. And I listen. I'm like, okay. That's one problem with educated people. They want to demonstrate the fact that they're educated. But in that effort of demonstrating their education, or let's say reiterating what they've learned from a book, which came from the mind of another person. So basically, all material knowledge, knowledge that you find in a library, approved knowledge that you find in a textbook, because it's all approved, the accumulation of approved knowledge all came from someone else's in here. And what you may want to consider is that you were born with infinite knowledge. And it's all in here. It's not in the library. But when people seek in here where the kingdom is, and now they write the book, and people go to the library and read the book and go, oh, okay, I have an idea now. Now I know how it works. But they apply it to their own understanding. There's nothing new. There's just reiterations of existing knowledge. And you were born with all of it. The only thing the library does is unlock it and give you additional information. And this is why students end up writing their own books. They write their thesis, if they're in a doctorate program. I'm in the middle of writing my thesis. There are important aspects of why a thesis should be written. It's just a documentation. But it's an individual viewpoint in documentation. So when you look back at the greatest minds in history, you see similarities. There's a similarity between Socrates and Confucius. There's similarities between Freud and Carl Jung. There's similarities between Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson, with a few fundamental differences, with a few small differences. If they're conservative, you can see the commonalities. If they're liberal, you can see the commonalities, because they're echoing a theme. But it's still a reiteration. It's still a variation on a theme. It's not original. It's their version of an original idea. Nothing new has been invented 5,000 years ago in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. It was pronounced that all creation was complete. You're only experiencing recreations. Technology is being developed. And into the technology comes the same knowledge. But with technology, things happen faster, things are more convenient, and some fundamental things are being removed, like the pen. The pen affects your subconscious, and this is why they say the pen is mightier than the sword, because you can change your mind with a pen. You cannot change your mind if you're typing in your phone. If you write an affirmation with your pen, you can change your mind. You can install a new belief in the subconscious. Let's say it another way. You can reprogram your thinking to give you different results. You can't do that with your thumbs. So that's the power of the pen. But it's been slowly taken away and replaced. Is it a conspiracy? Probably not. But someone has probably thought about it. And when the pen has seen its final days, which I highly doubt that will be anytime soon, not in my lifetime, that power will also be gone. That will have to be rediscovered. So we're living in rediscovery. Everything has been created. You were born with infinite knowledge, you just have to tap into it. How do you tap into it? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization. So many highly intelligent people rely on the intelligence that they've been sold. And because they have eyes, they look in the library. Because they have eyes, they look in the book. But the real power is in here. The kingdom is in here. You seek in here with your eyes closed, like this, and you seek in here. Because all the answers are within. All of them. Everything. Do you need others' opinions? No. But it's good to have other opinions. It's good to share information. So if you get the same explanation from 5 different people, there's going to be one of them that you click with, or you identify with, or you resonate with. That's good for you. Have you ever had that happen? Where 3 people tell you the same thing about the same topic, but you only resonate with one of them? You listen to the first person, you're like, okay. Second person, okay. The third person, wow, yeah, I get it. Why? Because you resonated with that explanation. And this is why I teach in variables and I break things down. Yesterday, this lady purchased a package from me. And you can purchase that package on my Facebook. It's very affordable and there's a lot of value there. I make videos for people, personalized videos. They email me with their challenges, and I make a video for them. And it's a small amount of money. But when I talked to her in Messenger, she said, "Wow, I really like the way you break things down." That's important for people. And that's why I teach in variables. Einstein said, if you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it. And sometimes it's not about the simplicity. It's about the words that trigger memories within the subconscious. And certain words that you use trigger those things in people. And then they go, oh yeah, okay, now yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and it takes them to a memory. Or it puts things together. That's why it's important. But when you're seeking with your eyes, you're seeking out here. When you're seeking with your eyes, you're going farther and farther away from the kingdom. Everything is conscious, subconscious, superconscious. That's it. The superconscious is God. However you believe, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But Matthew 25:29 is about mindset. They don't teach you that in Sunday school. An abundance mindset says there are no worries. You don't care. No matter what happens, God will bring you what you need. A scarcity mindset says, I don't know if this is going to happen. A scarcity mindset is doubt and fear. The more you doubt, the more you fear. Why? Because the more you doubt, the more you're telling your subconscious, this might not happen. And eventually that will scare you. So doubt and fear is the biggest enemy of the human being. Without doubt and without fear, we'd just be living beautiful lives. Do I doubt? Sure, yeah. But because I've developed a mindset that focuses on abundance, I can quickly take the glass half empty and switch it to the glass half full. Sometimes it takes a few minutes, sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes, depending on what it is, it takes a few days. In my book, The Universal Law of Attraction and Singing, in my book, I talk about it. I have to look at the chapter so I can tell you. Chapter 5, The Earth-Shattering Carelessness of Authority. When you receive information from others that you regard very highly, it could be a parent, it could be an employer, it could be a professor, it could be someone in authority. It could be a lawyer, it could be a judge, it could be a police officer, it could be anything you hold high, anyone you hold high. You respect them, so when they say something, even if it's careless, even if they're not thinking, even if it's with the best of intentions, what's going to happen is you are going to think about it over and over and over. When I was being mentored, I thought very highly of my mentors. So when they would say something, I would make a mental note of it. They weren't careless. But had I had, a careless mentor who said careless things, the situation would have turned out different. So it's very important to discern what you get from people in authority. Because when you start to discern that, when you start to process it logically, when you start to ask internally in the kingdom, when you start to ask, your discernment will work for you because the proper answer will come. First you ask, believing in what you ask, and you shall receive. That's the way it works. Whatever you want to call that, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. Jesus Christ, Allah, it doesn't matter. It's the superconscious. It's the superconscious state of awareness within you. There is only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, but it's all in here. The kingdom is within. It's not out there. You have eyes that look away from the kingdom. That's the problem. You have eyes that see other people with PhDs at the end of their name, so you pursue that. We see others doing things, which is good. Inspiration is probably the best thing for a human being. Human beings don't need handouts. They need inspiration. That's the gift that YouTube has brought the world. Now that children are being brought up with YouTube, they get inspired. They see other children doing miraculous things. They see talented children doing all kinds of stuff. And you know what they think? I can do it too. And they do it. Everything is subconscious learning. Everything. People think they have bad memories. You don't have a bad memory. It just needs to be triggered. Something needs to trigger it. Some people ignore their subconscious. They ignore these things because they're too consumed with the conscious mind. And the subconscious will do that as well. It will start to teach you to overthink. It will learn to overthink first, then it will repeat the process over and over and over until you're a chronic overthinker. Then you will need to be set free. How do you get set free? You need to find the truth. Where is the truth? It's in here. The light is the truth. Love is light. It's the highest vibration. Love is the truth. Light is the truth. It's the highest vibration. At the other end is fear. At the other extreme end is fear. So you can say, the light will set you free. You can say the truth will set you free. You can say love will set you free. You can say the highest frequency will set you free. Because if you're stuck, chances are you're either stuck at the highest negative emotion, which is worry, or you're in some variable of fear. What are the variables? Irritation, disappointment, criticism, anger, hate, boredom, envy, despair, grief, guilt, shame, and then fear at the very bottom. Some people are suffering from a combination of those. Is there relief from that? Sure. Sure, it's the windshield wiper, back and forth. Good thought, bad thought, good thought, bad thought, good thought, bad thought. If your windshield wiper is working too fast, like this, that's when they seek professional help. You actually want to have more good than bad. More good than bad. You want to have a windshield wiper that malfunctions like this. This is good, bad, good, bad. Okay? If it's going like this, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, you have a problem. If it's over here, bad, 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 good, bad, 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 good, you have a problem. If you think life is happening to you like this, you have a problem. Life happens for you, like this. Everything out here is a reflection of everything in here, and everything out here and everyone out here reacts to this. So if you have a lot of drama, understand that the origin is in here. You're attracting drama because you're projecting drama. You're projecting one of the negative vibrations that's bringing the drama. If things are going wrong out here, it's not because your life is bad. It's because something is going on in your thinking. It's because some emotion is happening that's responding to some of your thinking that's attracting the drama. First comes the thought, followed by the emotion. If you're having trouble with your emotions, change your thoughts. Too much negative thinking, bad thinking. Too much aggressive, negative thinking, striking out at people, living in offense as defense, thinking you're protecting yourself while you're actually just striking out at people. Will bring consequences, and those consequences will look like that vibration because you're stuck in that vibration. Some people are good at manifesting money. But even in the low vibrations, they can attract money. But when you look at the source and you go, oh, this is negative, then it's only going to be temporary. Money cannot stick. Money only sticks at a higher vibration. What I mean by stick is you can keep some of it. You have to give Caesar what is Caesar's. You have to pay your taxes. But you get to hold on to some of it. You get to invest some of it. You get to buy things with some of it. You get to live well with some of it. Have you ever seen these people in the low vibration make money? They make tons of money, tons of money, tons of money. And then all of a sudden, something happens. Boom, it's gone. Just like that, as fast as it came, gone. I had an uncle once that loved to make fast money. And it was so funny, he asked me for $5,000 to invest. And this guy was going to go to Las Vegas and make more money out of it, and everybody was going to make money and, that kind of thing. And I said, no, because I don't believe in fast money. And he urged me and begged me, and I said, no. You want to know the end to that story? The guy goes to Las Vegas with all of this money that he got from various people, but I wasn't one of them. And the story was that he got held up at gunpoint. And my uncle said, well, we're going to send somebody to Vegas with a, armed to Vegas to go find out what happened. You see, that's what I'm talking about a negative, low vibration. Money doesn't stick. But in the higher vibrations, in love, peace, gratitude, joy, passion, excitement, enthusiasm, hope, and satisfaction, money sticks. Why? Because your purpose is in alignment with higher vibrations. Your purpose is in alignment with better things. Rather than worry, irritation, disappointment. If you're a drug dealer, there's a bit of worry there because you may get caught. How long can you live like that? Well, maybe you can live like that for a while, maybe for a long time. But sooner or later, something happens, and then you lose it. Pablo Escobar was doing well for years, and all of a sudden, gone. That's a low vibration. That's a low vibration. Money doesn't stick in low vibrations. There's two ways to wealth. You can store up money, deny yourself a good life and put everything in the bank and stocks and invest. You can do that. And you can make a lot of money that way. Or you can learn mindset, an abundance mindset, and everything continuously shows up when you need it. The funniest thing happened. I was discussing someone with Jay, someone that I know. Hadn't heard from her in years. Yesterday, Jay and I were talking about her. Last night, I get a text from her for an event. So I sent the text to Jay this morning. And I said, you see? Good morning, Aura. I sent the text to her and I said, you see, these are synchronicities. Thank you, Aura. Thank you. Synchronicities. Most people go, oh, that's just a coincidence. When something good happens, oh, that's just a coincidence. If you believe in God, or if you profess to believe in God, or if you pretend to believe in God, or if you're telling everybody you believe in God, then you need to believe in this one. Then there are no synchronicities. You're not living a random life. A random life means you're in a boat. It has no rudder and it's just bouncing off the waves like this, and you're just going in any direction. And there's no rudder. If you're living an intentional life, it looks like this. An intentional life looks like this. When you tell your subconscious what you want, when you tell your subconscious what to do, these are affirmations, it's not journaling. But when you're living an intentional life, now you have a rudder on the boat and you're going here, or you're going here, or you're going here. You pick the direction. You pick the target. You pick what is right for you. And now that's where you're going. Because now you have alignment with the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, all working towards one goal. Using the 4 pillars, affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization, you cannot fail. You cannot fail.